control it under. Get the spirits like, oh, can I live on ya? 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 Thanks a lot, man. Aboard a crafty reservoir, I rode upstream to find Lenore, abducted by a bandit or a king from some forgotten war. And mindful of his lava creeds, the rhinothraphic microwaves ignored it into my amazement, rode to Paris in 12 days. This is the work of the Guild of the Pirates, stranded for a moment on the ocean of Osiris, absorbing all she can for every level of her plan, expanding exponentially like some recursive virus. She take me on, I never fail, the ride on the redundant rail. Cause though I know she's such a track, there's always one to take me back. And through the bedroom door intrude a fretful frown and spoil the mood. Cause though I never really stand that tall, she tilt my frame, she watch me fall. This is the work of a local pirate, stranded for a moment on the ocean of Osiris, absorbing all she can for every love of her plan, expanding exponentially like some recursive virus. So maybe I could be a fly, interacting as I die. And through the ritual from within, the soul gets all back with spin. And through the bedroom door intrude a fretful frown and spoiled mood. Cause oh, I never really stand that tall. She tilled my fruit, she watched me fall. This is the word of a virus. Stranded for a woman on the mission of Osiris. Swimming all she can for every member of her clan. This is the word of a virus. Stranded for a woman on the mission of Osiris. Swimming all she can for every member of her clan. Stranded for a woman on the ocean of Osiris, doing all she can for every member of her clan. Coasting a terrace, approaching a rift, through which I could spy several glimpses beneath of the darkness the light from above could not reach. I spied winds of reason, herself taking flight, and upon down the precipice saw her alight, and glare back at me one last look of dismay, as if she were the last one she thought I'd betrayed. So much. And drawing quite close to the top of the shelf, I struggled with destiny up on the ledge, and gasped when defeated he slipped off the edge. Silence contagious in moments like these consumed me and strengthened my will to appease the passion that sparked me one terrible night, and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite. myself and drawing quite close to the top of the shelf. I struggled with destiny up on the ledge, and gasped when defeated he slipped off the edge. And silence contagious in moments like these consumed me and strengthened my will to appease the passion that sparked me one terrible night and shocked and persuaded my soul to ignite. And shocked and my soul to my soul to and shocked and my soul to my soul to and shocked and my soul to my soul to and shocked and my soul to my soul.
Hard
There's a me and a maze, and you see what I'm hunting a few steps away. But I take a wrong turn and I'm on the wrong path, and the people all watching enjoy a good laugh. Failure, I try to reverse the course that my train had already traversed. Subduing the trauma, engulfing my dream, and made a like was an ungodly sea. The torrent of helplessness swept me away to the cabin of shame and the hall of dismay. Inside me a voice was repeating the phrase, you lost it, you'll never get out of this maze. Living out of space, 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 living out of space. you'll never get out of space, you'll never get out of space, never get out of space, you'll never get out of space. Up at the mountain and wiped away the beads of sweat that glistened on his brow. His tired feet were buried in the quagmire, and his bloodshot eyes saw all that lay between him in fulfillment of his vow. And he felt his fingers wrap around a knotted root and pull his body upwards to a sea green mossy boulder, and he dragged his weary shit ass up the mountain, and he climbed so slowly, he climbed so slowly, crack of thunder, and the rocks began to crumble overhead and tumbled down the mountain to the dismal swamp that lay beneath the jagged cliffs through which his path had led. And the earth began to quake beneath his feet, and the mighty mountain changed before his eyes, and he stood amidst the sea dust and rocks and stones cascading down the mountain, and 1,000 birds were headed for the sky. Whoa! The sacred creed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. When the dust had cleared, the colonel lifted up his head and was driven to his knees by a blazing beam of light. And he saw the silhouette that stood before him, and he bowed in reverence, trembling in the shadow of the mighty legends for. Iculus, the prophet, stood before his eye, looking down on Colonel Forbin, where he shuddered in the puddles and the muck. And he quietly addressed him, and he spoke so slowly. slowly, he spoke so slowly, he said, Colonel Foreman, I know why you've come here, and I'll help you with your quest to gain the knowledge that you lack. I call upon my faithful friend, the Mockingbird, to fly and seize the helping book and bring it to a shack. And the tree of knowledge in your soul will grow, and the helping friendly book will plant the seed. And I warn you that I'm not treating innocent pure, because a deadly weapon in the hands of avarice and greed. Whoa. The sacred greed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred greed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. Obey. Some things that we know and some things that we don't know. For real. Some of the things that we know here, we're all standing up here playing for you right now. We're looking down at you. Some of the things that you don't know, some of you don't know what I was just singing about here. Some of you know what I was just singing about here. Those are the people who know what I was just singing about. Some of you look like you don't know what I was just singing about. Well, let me just tell you something here. The other thing that you don't know is that we're not actually standing up here playing music for you right now. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, through the miracles of technology, we have now developed a new technique where we have sent holographic images of ourselves to come play for you tonight. We're right back in Vermont right now in the middle of the storm. We didn't want to come out here all the way to LA, so I hope that you're enjoying our holographic images that are standing up here. As a matter of fact, if you look up very closely, you have to squint a little bit and look very closely, and you'll see that there's a big frame around the stage, and we are simply holographic images playing for you. As a matter of fact, there's something else that you don't know. None of you are standing out there either. That's right. We've sent holographic images of you. You're all actually at home. The thing is that this image, you all signed up to come to this concert, and when you signed up, we told you that we're going to send holographic images of you to the concert. You're all lying safely in your beds right now, and you signed up for it, but it's so realistic that none of you, now that you're here, even remember signing up for the holographic Fish concert. And here it is right now, the holographic Fish concert. We hope you're all enjoying the holographic Fish concert. So like I said, there's a big frame around here, and as a matter of fact, if you can kind of picture it, just so I can explain it to you, when you get home, by the way, you won't remember any of this. You'll just remember it as a regular concert. But it's implanted in your brain there, and it's a holographic concert. One of the first of its kind, let me tell you. So there is basically a big I'll just explain how it works. There's a big holographic frame around this whole building, if you can picture it. So kind of picture yourself in a picture frame, but in 3D from holographs, and imagine somebody could pick up, and as a matter of fact, there is a person coming right over there now. And the incredible thing about this holographic concert is that it's actually pretty tiny. The whole entire building is taking place here in a small 6-inch frame. And right now, my actual being, I'm that holograph, is reaching down right over there. And if you can really imagine it, my hand is picking up the corner of the building right now. And I'm just kind of picking up the whole holographic frame and just tilting it over on its side a little bit like that. Everything's sort of falling over on its side. Luckily, this is holograph land, so you can continue standing straight up because you're only a holograph. And right now, you're up on its side, and the real tray is standing over there in the hand, and I'm now taking you, I'm about to fling you off into the distance, but I'm walking down to the beach and I'm holding this holographic image of this building in my hand, and I'm standing on my side like that. Getting ready to fling you into the ocean. And now we're skipping across the ocean. And now the whole building is sinking underneath the water. The whole building is sinking underneath the water. It's kind of going down, down into the deep green of the ocean. And as we go down, we see coral reefs over on our side, kind of waving with the current of the water. On the left, we see a little school of kingfish going by. Over on our right, we see some shellfish going down to the bottom there. Suddenly, a big octopus swimming by. And we're still kind of rocking back and forth to the bottom of the ocean. And we're about to land down on the sand. And suddenly, a big shark appears out of the distance. So the shark is coming out, and the shark kind of picks us up in the corner of his mouth and starts to swim along. And now we're in the corner of the shark's mouth. We're in the corner of the shark's mouth, and the shark is so big, he's just kind of gliding along the edge of the bottom, and he goes out past this little reef over here, goes over, and he's circling around now, and he sees this. Suddenly we look down, and we see that the shark is holding us over this huge, vast cavern that goes down, seems to go down as far as the eye can see. And he takes the holographic image in his mouth, and he goes, he's swimming around right now, swimming around, and then he decides he doesn't really like it, he just drops the holograph into the river. And now we're really sinking down. We're sinking down below the bottom of the sea. It's getting darker and darker all around us, and colder and colder, and we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And as we go deeper, the water starts to turn to slush, and it's getting thicker and thicker, and we're deeper now than we've ever been. They're deeper than any human being has ever been before. Luckily, we can still breathe because we're just holographic images, we're not real. So we're going down deeper, 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 and the water actually gets thicker and thicker. We feel like we're getting, it's hotter now. It's not cold anymore because we're getting closer to the center of the earth, to the mantle, to the core. Hotter and hotter, and we're blazing, and start feeling the sweat dripping off the sides of our body. It's harder to breathe. Deeper and deeper and deeper until we slowly come, and we feel like we're reaching at the edge of something. We're at the bottom, and suddenly we come pushing onto this membrane that's at the center of the earth, and then and now we're floating down through the air. We've ended up someplace different. We don't know where we are. Floating down in the wind, and we start to look over. We look over that way, and we see a vast green field stretching off into the distance. And we look over that way, and we see a huge forest going off, stretching as far as the eye can see, and sort of splitting. And out of this forest, we see an enormous mountain, the biggest mountain we've ever seen. We're still floating downwards, and we realize that we're coming to a landing in Game Henge. Singing about, for those of you who didn't know, we're in Game Henge. We look over at the mountain there, and we see this little speck on the mountain, tiny little speck, and we kind of look closer, and we aim a little picture over and floating over, and we see that this is not just a little speck, this is a little guy, and this little guy is climbing up the mountain right now, and this guy's name is Colonel Foreman, and that's what the last song is about. That's right, because this whole land here, Game Henge, For thousands of years, all the people of Gamehenge lived in peace and tranquility with nature in Gamehenge here. And what happened was one day this traveler came to Gamehenge, and his name was Wilson. And he had been in the outside world, and he realized that he could enslave all of these people. So what he did was he took the book that they used to guide their life, the book that taught them how to live in peace and harmony with nature, and he stole it. This book was called the Helping Friendly Book. And he put the book in the highest tower of his castle in the middle of Gamehenge. And right now, Colonel Foreman, who's also come to Gamehenge, is trying to bring peace and tranquility back to the people of Gamehenge, the lizard people. So he's climbing up the mountain right now, and he's climbing up the mountain, grabbing onto roots, and rocks are falling all over his head. He's tumbling down, and he's trying to find the spirit of the great and knowledgeable Nicholas, who lives at the top of the mountain. And he goes up, and finally he comes up the mountain, the rocks tumbling down. He sees the spirit of the great knowledgeable Iculus. And he says, Iculus, you've got to help me get the Helping Friendly Book back to the people of Gamehenge. So Iculus says, let me send for my friend, the famous mockingbird. And the famous mockingbird comes flying out of the sky. Iculus is going to tell him to fly to the castle, steal the book, bring it back to the people. They're going to live in peace and harmony forever and ever. Oh. But the story goes on from here, but it doesn't really matter because right now, the famous mockingbird is flying out of the sky, and he's going to the castle of the evil King Wilson, and he's going to steal the Helping Friendly Book. So here comes now, the famous mockingbird. apologize to Lucy Lill. Converse with Ed, a drive with Jill. Your friends can find you in their worlds. One by one, a string of pearls. Confused you say, this isn't me. You holler in their unity. Watching you slowly lose your grasp. Release the links unto the class. The skin that drips down off the tree or peels back slowly from your knee. Erupts into your lung and heart. Laughing, laughing, fall apart. 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 know. Oops. I didn't know. I didn't know. Well, I didn't like cheeseburger, alley cats near me. A petrified fish disease, I wish somebody'd hear me. I didn't like maple dew, honey melon, watercress. I didn't like fish shoes down my honey watermelon. I didn't seem to miss you when you kissed my honey water. And even showed a picture, showed her down my honey's border. But who laid silver tooth and broke my sunny shoe shine? And all my plastic metal dreams are waiting for the new shine. Pardon me, Doug. Is this a picture of Otis Redding? Yes, yes. Taken just before he died. Well, you could give me his hide. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. Playing his holographic soul out for you now, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please welcome Showboat Kirchruth, Moses Brown, Moses Heaps, Moses Lee, and Henrietta Tubbs. That's her phone. Well, I would have liked to see Best Truman come see me and hear all the revolutionaries come free me. Cause if it all ends up running to sneeze me, I'll make it all here, black corners come seize me. And if your boom back got troubles with your ear and you can't seem to come back and make it all clear, when I tails and toenails and liquid all meet me, when the mustard pies and carrot eyes and flounders come greet me. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know that I was that far gone. I didn't know that I was that far gone. Pardon me, Doug. Is this a picture of Otis Redding? Yes, sir!
Yeah!
Woo!
I should say so!
Woo! Otis Redding, ladies and gentlemen.
I should say so.
Take it just before he died. You can give me his hide. We'd like to welcome major Hollywood star of film and TV who's here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George DiCenzo. Let's hear it for him. Woo! George, where are you? I'm totally serious. You guys think I'm joking? I'm serious. The man is my godfather. I'm not kidding. Where is he? George? my life when he was easy but alone. Beside him was an empty throne, but one of silver silken blade. I'll fix his gaze, his features stay. Grasp the handle, clips the cable. One steps up, sits at his table. My friend, he's got a name. My friend, he's got a wife. The clever ruse, persuasion through his thoughts bruise, a hidden relic from his past that wasn't there when he looked last, because it's ticking like a bomb, feeding fear, assaults and calm, takes the object, starts the game, moves it closer to the flame. My friend, that clever ruse, my friend, he lights the fuse. saying if you're to blame, life will never be the same. You won't see my poor heart again. You won't see my poor heart again. You won't steal my tape recorder. I'll call the Lord and put you in bed. You won't see that thing again. and plunge below the waterline. Down, 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 between beams to the blue room, among the seaweed and the slime. Down, 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 down. and I kneel by the river, and I feel the sand and the wind from beyond the mountains. The wind from beyond the mountains. And she comes to me in this lonely land and looks down from the multi-beast on which she rides like the wind from beyond the mountains. The wind from beyond the mountains. As I look into her eyes, my frozen heart begins to thaw and burn till layer after layer melts away into a pool, a sky blue mirror of her but in her gaze I crumble into dust and drift away on the wind from beyond the mountains. The wind from beyond the mountains. Jewel of Wilson's found domain. Tila, Jewel of Wilson's found domain. Tila, Jewel of Wilson's found domain. Tila, Jewel of Wilson's found domain.
A lullaby the breeze is whispering. shadow the leaf, 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 travel on the beat, 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 tra
You'll like this one.
Oh God, I've had someone begging me to fart in the microphone for days now. One of these days, I just might do it and I'll be sorry. Satan! It's still there. The mark of the beast. I could while away the hours, conversing with the flowers, consulting with the road. Oh, my hand, I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching. If I only had a brain, I could solve any riddle for any individual in trouble or pain. With the thoughts I'd be thinking, I would be another Lincoln if I only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. I can think of things I never thought before, and then I sit and think some more. I would not be just a nut, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-doing if I only had a brain.
Henrietta, ladies and gentlemen. Tubbs. The little beast boy, ladies and gentlemen. The small beast boy.
Little John,
ladies and gentlemen. Little John. The friar, ladies and gentlemen, the friar. Please, a warm hand for Moses Brown. Moses Heaps. Moses DeWitt, ladies and gentlemen, Moses DeWitt. He lives for the spotlight, he lives for the roar of the crowd.
he walks, he talks, he lives.
He walks, he talks, he's alive.
This golden core sunset, I keep within my reach, trying yesterday to get away and hitchhike to the beach. I saw Satan on the beach, trying to catch a ray. He wasn't quite the speed of light, and the squirming coil, it got away. Jimmy is off to please wipe it from your shoe. Sanctuary bugs to cry, the monkey always died. A dozen rows that caught my nose before I could blink twice. Swipe and stuff, bubbled up, I gave some last advice. The flesh from Satan's dogs will make the wounds so gruel. And the carrots from your pain, you're worthless, funny fool. Swimming in the mire, sending me these gargoyles to maintain me with fire. I drifted where the current shows the boat on my back. If a chance of losing my life, I'd stuff it in my side. I built a moment for surreal below my skin. My hand is my pitch on, I remove the force within. Angry mob responded, taking turns at grabbing more. The foggy caverns of musty grind appeared within my I snapped and started screaming off, well damn me, I see God. Like a rag, to move this line from where the slug has through the bag. It's summing up the moral scenes, a little bit obscure. Give the director a serpent deflector, a mud rat detector, a ribbon reflector, a cushion cake vector, a picture of nectar, a viral dissector, a homo collector. Give the director a serpent deflector, a mud rat detector, a ribbon reflector, a cushion cake vector, a picture of nectar, a viral dissector. Give the director a serpent deflector, a mud rat detector, a ribbon reflector, a cushion cake vector, a picture of nectar, a viral dissector. Serpent deflector, a mud rat detector, a ribbon reflector, a cushion cake vector, a picture of nectar, a viral dissector, a homo collector. Whatever you do, take care of your shoes. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next time. Especially thanks to Katie DeWitt and Sarah Thorson. We'll see you next time. In the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man. Now I reached that age, I try to do all the things the best I can. No matter how I try, I find my way to the same old jam. Good times, bad times, you know I've had my share. But that told well, burn out man, but I still don't seem to care. I fell in love with a girl who suits me. It only took a couple of days till she was with me. She swore that she would be all mine and love me till the end. But when I